Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. I think that this week is going to be a week of. I talked about it in my last video. Hopefully you guys have seen that because I'm literally editing it today and it should be up by like Tuesday, which is tomorrow. I have some plans. I have some plants that I'm receiving probably either Wednesday or Thursday. I'm not entirely sure. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't even checked. Coming from Woohoo Tropicals, which I'm super excited for. There is a lot of wish list plants in that little bundle or in that little package, so I'm really excited for that. And today, I know I'm all ready. I don't look bummy. Usually I'm on these videos looking like a freaking, like I just hopped out of bed. I'm not looking like that today. You know why? Because we're gonna go to a plant store. I have a wish list plant that I think I'm ready to get. I think I'm ready to decide to purchase it. This wishlist plant is like widely available. I just don't have the space for it in my room, so this plant is not going to be staying in my room. Hopefully I will still give updates on it though. Every time I go to this plant store, I always see them and I'm like, should I? And then I don't decide to buy, and this time I'm going there with the purpose to buy. And on top of that, I'm also going to need soil for this plant. I don't know why I've been running really low on soil. Normally I'm like good, I have way too much and I actually have to throw some out, and recently I'm literally like half filled with my freaking soil. So things are happy, things are thriving, I guess that's what that means. But yeah, we are gonna go to this plant store, and this plant store I've talked about so many times. It is called Flower World. I love Flower World. They have indoor, outdoor plants, pots. They also have like a little market off to the side with some animals, kind of like a little mini zoo, and it's just a really fun time every time I go to Flower World. I love it. It has like a fountain, an area for you to just walk around and talk, and it's just so beautiful there. It's like a whole different world from where I'm currently at, and it just feels like you're completely transformed into like this forest vibe, you know? I don't know. So let's just get to it. Let's just go. I'm gonna stop yapping and I guess I'll see you there, because I actually can't record on the way there because I don't know the whole drive there. So yeah, see you there. You guys, I have found it. This is the wishlist plant that I was talking about. I don't know if I should get a big one though. I was kind of trying to look for like their smaller pots, because usually they have like a table full of these and they're just like really small but still really quite bushy, because I don't know about that price, but I mean, I guess it's a really full pot. I'm gonna look around a little bit more. See, normally they have them in like this size, which is more so what I was expecting, but they only have the regular green, I think, which I want the dark one. So I'm like, maybe those extra $30 are kind of worth it. I don't know, they have a lot of ficus though, like a lot. Okay, I think I am just gonna go with one of these, but which one? I mean, this one's pretty full, but I don't think it'll fit in that corner. Oh, this one looks really nice. It's nice and tall. I mean, there's also this one, which is a little smaller, a little fuller. No, I think this is the one. This one right here. She is so pretty. Okay. I think we're gonna do it. I mean, I spent this much on an anthurium, so it's not that bad of a price, but it's just not what I was expecting to pay, but let's do it. Oh, jeez. Okay, I can't put it in through the other side, so I have to stick it in here, which is gonna be annoying. Oh. Look at my little ficus. I didn't walk around to the fountain area, so I want to show you guys it. So we're just gonna drive around so that you guys can see. That is Flower World right there, and you can like walk around, take picnics, everything, and then just look at this beautiful freaking scenery. And they have like chickens there. This is the behemoth. I am a little scared. I kind of got sad because there was this pot actually that was so freaking cute. It would have fit this like perfectly. I think it would have like made the design of this plant for me, but it was just a bit too expensive, and I was like, you know what, I'll just stick with like a plastic one. So I got like this plastic round cover pot. Not even a cover pot, because I'm probably gonna end up potting directly in there. But yeah, let's unpot this. I need, oh god, I should mix my soil first actually. So let's do that. Oh, what the heck is this? I don't know, you guys, this mix is weird. You know when you were little and you would like run around and there was like that specific dirt that always just left spines everywhere? Like little spikes in your hands? That's what this reminds me of. And so I kind of don't really want to touch it now, because I'm like, am I going to be left with a whole bunch of little spines? Okay, it's the next day, and I just wanted to start off by showing you guys all of the changes. I'm sorry, it's a little bit blown out. Like, I'm very dark because the background is very light. The sun was actually just coming in, and wow, there's actually sunbathing behind me. But I just wanted to show you guys, I really adore just everything about my new setup. I think that this is gonna stay the way that it is for a very long time because I just feel so satisfied and content with almost every single plant space. I don't think there's one that I'm like really not a fan of, but this one is one of my favorites. I just love this Brazilian rain tree here. Ever since it got to a certain size, I've really tried to keep it like the center of the show. I just want it to be fully displayed, as beautiful as it can be, and I feel like this really does it for me, especially when I'm like standing up and about to sit down. The whole, just the way that this tree just adds so much to a space. Here, let me pull it out. It has a beautiful way of displaying its leaves. A lot of people, when they see this, they think of the mimosa plant, the touch me not plant, or the sensitive plant, but it is not reactive to touch whatsoever. I've talked about this multiple times on my channel, so I don't want to bombard you with that, but it is just so freaking beautiful here, and I love it so much. Yeah, I tried to move a lot of my anthuriums over here because the main reason why I wanted to switch this area was because winter is incoming, and I just know that the greenhouse that was here before would not do well, which the greenhouse is actually right behind me. It's right here. It's right here. I don't know why that was so hard. And yeah, we will be going through that space as well, but I just love this space so freaking much. I need to stop turning away from the mic because you guys are not going to be able to hear anything. But yeah, I moved a lot of my anthuriums here. I have my crystallinum, my Zara Michelle, or my Michelle Zara self, which I am just head over heels for this plant, you guys. I can't get enough of it. This isn't gonna do it justice, so I'm just not even gonna try, but it is so freaking stunning, and I hope you guys can see that under this light. It's so beautiful. And I have my Lux Cross. Oh my god, I need to stop turning away. But I have my Lux Cross, which again, also with the same beautiful emergent color. And then one of my like low-key favorites, I guess, is this complex hybrid that I got from a seller on Instagram. You guys are not gonna be able to see it. Maybe if I hold it back here. No? But it is just, it kind of has Ace of Spades features, in my opinion. It has very minimal veining and very minimal blister veining in the leaf, which I know Ace of Spades has like none. But yeah, I really love this plant. It's honestly grown on me so much, and it's one of my fastest growing anthuriums, I would say. So that one's there. My Ficus aspera, my mosaic fern. Not my fern, oh my god, a fig. Yeah, I really love this space a whole freaking lot, and I got this little pendant light from Amazon. I'll try to link it down below, and then I just moved one of my Sansi bulbs in here, so this is getting natural light, but also a grow light, which is always nice. Yeah, I really love this area, and I will say it is kind of weird for me just because I've never really displayed, I was about to say design, I've never displayed my plants like this. Normally they're on a shelf and they're kind of like aimed towards one spot, and I can sort of like play with the whole tiers of them and just like have them in separate little groups and be very like, I guess, intentional with what plants I put around it. Not that I haven't done that with this, but it just feels very different just because you can see this from all sides. Even from like my window outside, you can see this, and from that, like from this point of view you can see it, from that point of view you can see it. And so I kind of just had to pick and choose what position I wanted everything to face. I also have my gigantic crystallinum back here, which this leaf is kind of like twisted. I really don't like that, but oh well. I think that is all I have to say about this. I really freaking love it. I'm super happy with it, and I hope that during the winter this stays happy. I'm more so just worried about the draft that's gonna come in, because right where this Jose Bono is, like kind of literally right where my finger is, I will get a massive draft in the winter of just cool air that sort of slips through. And so I kind of was a little bit more selective with that. That's the whole reason why I put anthuriums, or mostly anthuriums here, is because I know they enjoy the cooler temperatures. They definitely don't enjoy a draft, but I just don't really know what to do about that. It's not like I can really seal it, and my windows are just weird in general, so I don't know. But yeah, I'm super happy with this. I really love it. And now I want to show you guys my shelf, more specifically this area. So let's go. Okay. I'm gonna be very careful not to step on Lila because she is right below me. But this is my new and improved, I wouldn't call this my plant shelf. I don't really know what to call this area, but this is definitely a plant shelf. Most, like literally everything in here has to do with plants. But I do want to talk about this area really quickly because it has been so freaking long since I have felt like my Florida Beauty looks great in its spot. Normally I kind of have to work around it, and it just feels like I'm kind of stuffing things in next to my Florida Beauty. And in this spot, I freaking love it. I love it so much. It just looks so great, so majestic, and I feel like it really does have its space. Like, I'm not just like crowding stuff in next to it. It just has its space to really grow and thrive, and I don't know, I just really love how it looks, especially with my maidenhair fern up here. Look at her. I have been so freaking in love with this plant. I actually don't think it's gonna do that well up here, just because during the summer I did have it lower in my plant space, and it seemed to really enjoy that. I think it was just those cooler temperatures. I believe this is a cloud forest plant, or it grows in high elevation, so it has a lot of humidity and cooler temps. So I don't think it's gonna really enjoy that, just because heat rises in this room. We're already on the second floor, and so it's just gonna be, I don't know, we will see. I think this winter we will see, but if it looks like it's not growing great, I guess I'll try and find something else to put there. But I really wanted to move this out because I wanted to just have the ability to look at it and appreciate it a little bit more, because it's so freaking precious. And I also have it in this cute little pot that I thrifted. Yeah. Okay, Lila. Oh. Oh. Oh, jeez, my heart. Okay. I was way too focused on not stepping on Lila, but she's moved now. Okay. And my solanum we also have back here. This one I really wanted to focus on as well. I kind of chose very specific plants to put here. Before, I don't think you guys have seen it in a very long time, but before I had a bunch of anthuriums. Pretty much everything that is by my window, besides the like Brazilian rain tree, was trying to be here, and it would just looked way too squished, way too like, it just didn't look like it was intentionally put together like this does, I would say. And so with this one I really tried to kind of lower down the amount of plants that I have here, and just focus on a couple of plants that I really want to get a lot of light and a lot of good conditions. One being my freaking Florida Beauty, and then my maidenhair fern and my Pilotoflorum. I have not found a spot for my Pilotoflorum in so freaking long where I feel like it's has room to grow. It has the space to really push out as many leaves as it wants. I'm always constantly moving that one. It's why the leaves, here I'll actually take it down. It's why the leaves are always facing completely different ways. Like you can see this one is facing forward. Meanwhile, this one is kind of facing slanted because the light when this one grew out was coming from this way. I've had a tough time finding a spot for this to just grow. And so I really hope, this is another reason why I say that I'm really going to try not to change anything around, because I can just see all of these plants growing in here beautifully for months and months and months, because I have just allowed that sort of space. I think the only one I'm really worried about is the Florida Beauty, just because it might hit this shelf at some point. But I don't know. I'm super happy with this area, and it's one of my favorite freaking spots now. I've also really tried to focus on the pottery more over here, and I went on an Oregon trip a week ago now. And I got this beautiful freaking ceramic pot. I have another one as well down here with my Maranta in it. I don't know, I really wanted this more simplistic pottery just because I don't ever really see something like this that's very sleek and very well designed, I guess, in my area. Most of what I see in my area is a lot of just like generic, like Home Depot sort of pottery, I guess is the way I would describe it. Very contemporary and just kind of a little bit overdone, you know? And with this sort of pot, I love it. It's porcelain, you can feel it, and it just feels well crafted, and it's so beautiful. I really do love it, and this little stony texture that it has on it, I don't know. I just really tried to focus a lot more on the pottery and the design with the plant as well. I don't know, I feel super proud of this space. I freaking love it. It just looks awesome. And if you guys think anything different, don't let me know. Keep it to yourself because I don't really care to hear it. I just adore this spot so much. And that also brings me to this side, which I've tried. I feel like with this, I wasn't as intentional just because things have slowly grown out of this space, and then I've just kind of moved them in between, or slowly it's just sort of built to what it is now. And I freaking love it. I cannot, like, all of my plant spaces, you're gonna be hearing me say the same thing because I just really feel proud of where everything is at and the space that I've given everything. I think the 3 main plants, maybe even 4 main plants that I really love here is my Frydek. I feel like I've given my Frydek a lot of room to grow, and I hope that it doesn't give me too big of leaves in the winter time just because I don't know where the heck I would move it. I would probably have to move it somewhere on this side. But yeah, I really love my Frydek. I feel like it's growing, and just in general with that plant, I feel like I've just reached a completely different milestone than I ever have with alocasias specifically, and so I just feel really proud of that plant. Same with my gigas. My gigas has given me one of the biggest leaves ever, and I just feel super proud of that plant, and I just love that plant. I'm always talking about that plant on this channel, so if you watch my videos or if you have been subscribed for a while, you already know how I feel about that plant. And then my Hoya obovata is so beautiful. I cannot get enough of that plant. I was actually thinking about moving it out because it's getting gigantic, and I just know that it's gonna grow out. The vine is literally all the way up here, so I'm gonna need to move that out pretty soon, I think. I've just been kind of holding off and like keeping it in here, keeping it contained as much as possible, because if I move that one out, I think I'm probably gonna have to move it over here. And I don't know, maybe actually right here it would look really good with the leaves going up. I know Hoyas can handle pretty low light, so I think that that might be a good option. But I don't know, I've just been trying to keep everything where it is because I just love it so much. And my beautiful monkey tail, I cannot tell you how much joy this plant brings me, and especially when it's displayed with other plants that just have contrasting features. Like, I think it being so furry and kind of translucent almost, like this isn't as stiff or as formed, I guess, as this, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm making sense, but like this just has a lot of air movement around it. It has hairs, and it has open space near it compared to something like the Hoya obovata, which forms a very compact, stiff leaf that you can't really, pet like this. They just have very contrasting features and variety, but also unity with the colors and all that. I don't know, I just really like how that plant looks with a lot of plants. Like, it's just a really beautiful plant to sort of display with. Yeah, I'm getting too into design stuff, but yeah. Oh, I also want to show you guys this. Actually, a while back I actually redid a lot of my my ear. I actually redid a lot of my carnivorous plant things, which today I think we're actually gonna redo some, or maybe I'll save that for tomorrow actually. Yeah, because I don't feel like doing any repotting today. I kind of feel just tired. I just want to chill. I just want to water. But yeah, I made this little like mountain with a little fern moss. There's some sphagnum moss in here, and I also have a lot of utricularia as well. But I kind of put the sphagnum moss and the utricularia around the edge. I need to sneeze. Oh geez. Yeah, and then I made a little mound with the carnivorous plant soil, and I put pumice on top, and then I just kind of sprinkled my, what is this, the Pinguicula alerciae, I believe. I just kind of sprinkled its little babies all around to kind of make it look like the Pinguicula was growing in between the cracks. I don't know, I love how this looks, and before I decided to just revamp all of it, this was looking so empty and just so, everything wasn't really doing great. It was just kind of like, it kind of just looked like a prop box, to be honest. It didn't look like I was trying to display with this intentionally, and so I'm super freaking happy with how it came out. In Oregon, we visited a plant store. I believe it's called Plants on Broadway, and then across that store they have Pets on Broadway, and they're kind of like together, they kind of are one company, I believe. But at that pet store I saw a green, I believe they're called tree frogs or dumpy frogs. I'll pop in a picture of what I mean. Hopefully I can do that. And I was so close to getting one. The only reason I would say I didn't get one is because I just don't like getting things on a whim like that, especially when it's an animal. It just doesn't feel right. Like, I don't have the right knowledge. I want to bring this pet into a nice home, into, a person who knows exactly what it needs, exactly what it wants, and so I just couldn't let myself get it. But I do want to at some point get a frog. It's always been an idea sort of in the back of my head, but before I even go close to getting a frog, I do want to build a terrarium, and hopefully have the terrarium be established and then think about getting a frog instead of the other way around, because that just wouldn't have been, it just wasn't a good idea to even get that frog at that time, because it was a road trip and I didn't want to put the frog through a lot of stress and then get home and not have a terrarium. It was just a whole thing. And so I'm really happy I didn't get that frog, because I just know I would have been really stressed. On that day, I actually also got sick. I had a fever as soon as I got home, so it would have just been really bad. And I am super happy that I didn't get the frog, but I am going to get one at some point, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be using this EXO or if I'm going to be like sort of makeshifting something with an old display case that I got. I showed it a while back. I believe it was in my last week of, where I got this like display cabinet. It's not a cabinet, it's like a display case for free, and I was thinking if I jigged that all out, like if I sealed it, made it a whole terrarium, I think that would look really cool because it's framed in wood. But yeah, still thinking that through. Anyways, long story short, that's sort of why I got this EXO, was to hopefully at some point have it be a terrarium, but for now I am using it for all of my anthurium seedlings. I also have some props or some rehabs in there, like my Alocasia eslanii is rehabbing. Oh my god. Do you guys see that? That's not a leaf. That is not a leaf. And I am not okay. I don't like alocasia flowers. Oh, jeez. I mean, I guess it means it's happy, but like, I don't care for your flowers, ma'am. But yeah, I have a lot of my. Oh. I have a lot of my Anthurium babies in here. I have my Crystallinum Silver Special. I also have some new plants that I haven't shown you guys. I have recorded multiple videos, you guys, but I just haven't. We'll get into it in a little bit why I haven't been posting, but I've talked about these multiple times, and so I don't want to. Oh, I don't want to talk your ear off, but I have 2 plants from Woohoo Tropicals. If you don't know who Woohoo Tropicals is, go follow them on Instagram. I believe it's Woohoo Tropicals _ and yeah, love them. I got Palm Street, found them. Ever since then, I've just been in love with their specimens, their customer service, everything about them is amazing. And I got these 2. This is, excuse me, I keep freaking burping. This is a Red Crystal Woo 5 crossed with a Woo 8, which they're both red crystals, and Woo 5 or Woo 8 or Woo whatever is just their way of sort of characterizing or differentiating their mother plants. And so they're both red crystals, they just have different features. But yeah, I got this plant and I'm super in love with it. I'm super happy with everything. It's actually rooting up really, really well. It has a chunky freaking root poking out. Yeah, love that one. And then I also got a, oh god, what is this? An SKG Silver crossed with a Bessier Af, which I've been wanting a Bessier for a very long time. I'm sorry, this is probably not in focus at all. But I've been wanting a Bessier in general for a very long time. I think I'm just kind of scared of Bessiers. I've seen how they are, and I just don't know if I'd be ready to handle it. I do want to get one at some point, and I probably will. But yeah, so that's why I got this one, and it has SKG Silver, which SKG Silver is very similar to, what's the other one? Oh my god, I can't think of the other one. What is the cross that I have? SKG Gray. Oh my god, I don't know why I couldn't think of that. It's very similar to SKG Gray. I believe they just have different venation, something like that. But yeah, they're just kind of like a very blistery, very thick veined crystallinum with beautiful brown chocolatey emergence. Yeah, so I'm super happy about that one. And let me show you guys this one again, just in case it wasn't in focus. I love this one so much. Another thing that you can do with Woohoo Tropicals is if you're looking for specific features in a specific plant, you can ask them for it. And so with this one, I asked them for something a little bit more round with very thick blistery veins, and they showed me this leaf, and I kind of thought about it a little bit. I still really liked the features, and it was beautiful, and so I decided to go with it. And it, so far, it has kept that very thick veination, which is mostly what I wanted. I know that the shape can sort of fluctuate over time, so I'm not too worried about the shape. If it stays a little bit more elongated, that's perfectly fine. But it is just so freaking cute, and it does keep some of the red in the veining. I'm sorry, this is not like focusing. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but there is a slight tinge of like purpley pinkish in those veins, which red crystals aren't that trait. From red crystals, keeping the pink in the leaf is a recessive trait, so not all seedlings are gonna come out with that feature or that characteristic. It's honestly just very random, and if you get a red crystal and it doesn't end up having that red veination, it doesn't mean that it's not a red crystal. Mostly I feel like you can just kind of tell with how the leaf sort of emerges, and I'll sort of show you with my Zara Michelle. I took a picture of this a while back. Oh my god, why is it not focusing? I took a picture of this a while back, and it was like super pink and red, and over time it does keep that sort of pinkness, but it starts to slowly harden off to a green, which is sort of what this is doing right now. You can still see some of the pink in the, like, what are they called? The lateral veins? I don't remember, but this midrib vein and then the veins coming out from the sinus, you can really see a lot of the pink. And again, not all red crystals are going to keep that, but yeah. Don't know where I was going with that tangent. I'm hoping that it won't be too long term, just because I do want to make space for the future terrarium that I want and the future pet and things like that. There's also another new plant that I got that I don't think I'm gonna take out, just because it doesn't really look like anything. It doesn't really have any features. It literally just looks like a baby spinach plant. Like it's a really small seedling. And that plant is a Zara Michelle crossed with a Carla Blackier, which you guys know I got my Michelle Zara self in a trade. Ever since I've had that plant and just experienced its new leaves, its growth, all of that, I've been super in love with the whole Michelle and Zara just family line. Honestly, it's kind of making me want to get a Wonder Boy, just because those two plants have derived from the Wonder Boy. And the Wonder Boy is sort of where I guess all red crystallinums were born, I would say. I think the Dreamweaver is also a part of that. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, I would really love to have a Wonder Boy at some point. But I know that that plant is super expensive, so there's no rush. Ever since I got that, I've just been really in love with those features that those plants bring, and so I could not resist getting that crossed with a Carla, just because I don't have a Carla, like an actual just pure Carla. I would love one at some point, but they're very expensive right now. And one feature that I sort of really like about the Michelle Zara, the Zara Michelle life bloodline, whatever you want to call it, the genetics of them, is that they have a very warm toned leaf to them. Even when they harden off, they kind of have this beigey undertone that's still there, especially in the veins. And I can't really describe it unless you've seen it. I feel like you can really see it with Carla's when there's, you know, a leaf that's like starting to harden off. But it is just so beautiful, and both the Carla Blackie and the Michelle and Zara have that sort of beigey undertone when it comes to the leaves hardening off. And so I feel like just mixing those two gene pools is gonna be phenomenal. So I'm really happy that I got that. Alright, you guys, so this is my new shelf. I love it, I really do. Before, this area was very iffy and it just looked very sparse, and same with where the EXO currently is. I feel like those two areas just didn't really look well on their own, and so I decided to sort of combine all of those plants together and put them in here, which is exactly literally what I did. My Majestic used to be over there, my Hoya Serpens and the Chinghanghensis also used to be over there, and I just really like how it looks now. It looks a lot more full and a lot more, I don't know, just vegetative, I guess, like just grown in. And then behind me, you guys see my IKEA greenhouse, which was the main inspiration for all of the like moving around stuff, just because I know during the winter this was not going to be happy right next to that window, and I've just kind of been thinking about putting it in here, especially since before I had the EXO here. The EXO actually replaced my like bigger fish tank that I used to use. And yeah, so I had the EXO here for a little bit, and it wasn't a vibe. I didn't really enjoy it, and I definitely like this a lot more. It actually fits in here like perfectly. The only thing that really bugs me, I guess, is that I can't put this all the way up, but every time I've done plant chores, I'll usually just flip it up and hold it. But I really love the whole shelf, to be honest. I just feel like it's finally getting to a spot where everything is final and just thriving, I guess. And same with like the plants on top of it. I know I'm not like going in depth on what plants are here, but I feel like you guys can kind of see. Mostly in here, I just have like rehabs or things that are still rooting up and getting their strength, I guess. I do at some point want to like set this up to be an actual greenhouse, like properly seal it, all of that, and I just haven't gotten around to it. It is very lightly sealed with like some tape on the top and stuff, but it's not like something that I feel comfortable calling a greenhouse, I guess. I also really quickly wanted to talk about why I haven't been posting. I'm really hoping that this video makes it to the cut, just because mainly after, I want to say, May, I kind of went through a little bit of a mental fog. I just wasn't feeling motivated for anything, and I'm not gonna lie, it was a really tough time, and it did last quite a few months, I would say, and it would come and go, but yeah, I just went through a sort of mental fog, and I didn't feel like myself. And then I want to say that ended like June. Yeah, so it was maybe like 2 months, but it had been happening like way further into the school year, I guess. Um, and after I was like, you know what, I'm gonna post, I started filming, and when I tell you, almost every video that I have filmed has just had some sort of issue. This is gonna sound like such an excuse, but I'm not even kidding. Recently, what I've been dealing with the editor that I'm currently using is my video. I'll edit my complete video and then go to export it, and it'll stop mid export and just will not continue to render my video, will not continue to export it. And I haven't been able to figure it out. It's only been happening for the past couple of videos. I think it's been like 3 videos that I've edited, and the only way that I have found a way to like actually get it to export has been to delete half of my video that I've already edited and then try to export it. And it's just been a whole freaking situation that I've just been, it's been very unmotivating to film, edit, all of that, just because if it's just been something that I've been consistently dealing with. And before all of that, I was just dealing with issues in general, like technical issues. I remember there was one video that I filmed that I only filmed the last half of. Like, I just forgot to push the freaking button. And then there was a video that my mic wasn't plugged in all the way, so I had 0 audio. It's just been super frustrating, and I am finding a new editor, and so hopefully that helps this whole situation. It feels so dumb, but especially with what I've been dealing with most recently with the whole not exporting thing, it's just been really unmotivating. And I'll film a video, edit the complete video, and then try to go export it, and then I have to delete half of the video that I've already edited, and then by that point I've just lost motivation to even push the video out, to even re-edit the video, because it's just a very annoying process. And I should have already probably tried to find a new editor. I've just been trying to solve the issue, or figure out like ways to figure out why this is happening, and I just can't. So yeah, I'm moving on from this editor. I also hate finding new editors just because I get so comfortable in a workflow with one, and it just becomes an entirely different process with a new editor. So yeah, just be patient with me. I'm sorry that I've been so inconsistent and just radio silence for so long, but I just have been dealing with personal issues, and then now just a whole bunch of technical issues. And there was actually one video that I filmed that I was like rushing to the gym after I filmed the video, and then my laptop broke, so that just it just also left no motivation to film or to continue that video. There's just been constant issues, and yeah, that is pretty much why I haven't been posting. And I'm sorry, I know it's kind of a dumb reason, but it just hasn't been very motivating to continue to film and edit and push out videos. Hello everyone, it is Thursday and my Woohoo Tropicals package indeed did come in, and I'm super excited to open it. We are gonna have to repot these and find some room for them because these are coming from greenhouse conditions, so I want to try to mimic those same conditions while they are here. One of these is actually an orchid and it's mounted, so I won't even have to like repot that. This is the package. I'm super excited, oh my god. Okay, I don't think they have labels on the outside, so we're just gonna pull one and open it. This might be... Oh my god, I'm sorry. Is this my Hoya? Oh, this Hoya is so wilted. Oh, jeez. It is a fresh cut, though. So I get it, but... Oof. Oh, that's scary. Okay, the first plant that I got is a Hoya undulata. Oh man, I really hope this one... There's nothing wrong with this one, because this was one of my wish list plants. This is a fresh cut, though, so I will give it a couple of days and see. Oh, but that looks so wilted. Can I... Yeah, okay. I mean, I think I'm just gonna put it in water in a cloche and hope that it perks up a little bit. But this thing is so wilted. It is a fresh cut, so like I get it, but oh, it's just scary. Okay. This is so freaking pretty though. It is a Hoya undulata. And I'm just gonna plop this in some water and put it in like a cloche. Or maybe I'll actually put it in my prop box. Yeah, maybe I'll send them a message about this, but I think that it's just because it's a prop. I'll probably just wait and see. Oh my god, it's so wilty. Okay. Anyways, this next one, I think I know which one this is. There we are. Okay. This one, oh my god, this needs water. Oh, I think this definitely needs water. These roots. Okay, I'll definitely make sure to water this and hopefully it perks up. Those kind of scared me, but I think I probably will shoot them a message, just let them know what's going on. I think as long as I water them and put them in a pretty high humidity environment, they should do okay. But I hope this one's doing good. This one was probably, honestly, all of these I was kind of excited for. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. No, I need to not be extra, but this is my new anthurium. And it looks so pretty. Oh, I love it. It has a cute little red sinus. And this was a no ID, so there's that. But honestly, I don't really care to see what it is. It does look very acey, but I just really liked it because it looked like an ace and it had this beautiful red sinus. I don't think it sticks around too long, but I just thought this plant was so freaking cute and I'm super happy with it. That is this one. It's so freaking cute. I love it. Okay. I think I'm gonna shoot them a message. And I don't know if I should try to water these or what. Hello everyone. It is Thursday of the following week. This video definitely did not turn out how I expected it to. I was kind of expecting it to be a lot more plant chores and less of like show and tell and getting new plants. And so I'm sorry that it turned out this way. I still feel like I can make a good thing out of this, so I'm still going to continue to put this together. I've already started editing this video and I really hope that goes well. I really hope I don't run into any issues because I've had it up to here with all of the freaking like technical difficulties that I've had with filming recently. But I thought that I would just give you guys an update on the new plants that I got from Woohoo, just because I did show some in a pretty bad state and I do just want to give some updates on those and just talk a little bit through the process, I guess, of what I did, why I did that, and maybe some things that you guys can also help with because I'm not an orchid person and orchids are not my forte. So, but I do just want to start, you know what, let's start with this one. The orchid, I actually have it in water right now. This plant has been drying out almost every day, which I know you want that for orchids. You don't want them to stay too you know, well watered. This is the, I was about to say Ripsalis. This is the Phalaenopsis deliciosa. And it has these ruffly edges. And I'm not big on like getting plants just for the flowers. I feel like the only plants that I really do that with are my pings. With orchids, I really want to focus more on the foliage and what the foliage brings to the table. And this one, the first time I saw it on Woohoo's Live, I completely fell in love with like these ruffly edges. It's just so beautiful. And yeah, I really did want this in my collection, and I'm kind of thinking that I'm not gonna get any more orchids like this unless I'm gonna make like a terrarium or something, which of course I am planning on doing. I already spoke on that a little bit. And I might try and put this in that terrarium, but these sort of orchids just don't work for my conditions just because I don't have the highest humidity. I feel like this would definitely benefit from like a greenhouse. You know what, I actually feel like I should cut this spike off. Actually, let me do that right now. And this one was just so cute, and I've been wanting to add another orchid to my collection like this. What was I doing? Cutting off the spike. And the flowers are, you know, they're just a bonus at this point with the foliage on here, but this thing has been drying out every single day. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is gonna survive in my conditions. I do want to find something that's a little bit better and a little bit more I don't know, allows me to just keep this moist a little bit longer, especially with school coming up. Yeah, I know I'm not going to be able to handle all of that. And honestly, I think a lot of the dead roots are actually coming from one plant, which it looked like there was two plants on here. There's another like stalk right here on my finger, and if you guys see, if I like pull it, you'll see all of the roots sort of start to come out. Like this root is connected to it, but it looks like it's dead. There is still one healthy root coming off of it, so I'm not sure, but I guess we'll leave it and see. But yeah, that one has been really fun to have. I've had it for maybe like a week, and I already really love it. I do really want to focus more on the display factor with that one, and I'm not gonna lie, I've really been opening up myself to the idea of getting staghorn ferns. I've never been like crazy about them, but I think I was watching, I think it was Benji Plant, or I saw someone on Instagram that had a Ridley eye. There's this one person that I'm thinking of, I believe it's IGX Plants. I'll insert a picture of exactly what I mean, but he has a Ridley eye in a kokedama and in like this beautiful just like pedestal bowl, and I think I'm really inspired by that, but I'm also kind of contemplating getting a Ridley eye and then mounting it, because I think that especially, oh, you guys can't see it and the background is very blown out, I didn't even realize that, but up in this area, I'll try and point to you, literally up here, I can just see a staghorn fern being there, thriving there. Obviously I need to adjust the lights a little bit, and I'm actually thinking of getting another Stancy bulb so that, has my camera been crooked this whole time? Oh my god. Wow, okay. I think that by this point I do have a Ridley Eyes staghorn fern on my wish list, just because I feel like the Ridley Eyes, I know there's multiple forms, but there's one specifically that I'm thinking of that's just really small and petite that is really what I'm looking for. I think it just, the way that the fronds, the shield fronds, I believe, the way that those form and the way that they are just so beautiful to me. And I don't know, I'm very specific about what I bring into my collection, and so this is going to be something that I definitely think through, just because I know there's going to be a lot of sort of designing and just little stuff that I'm going to have to think through before I get it. But next, I do want to update you guys on the Hoya Undulata, which I will say is doing so much better. I was so terrified of the way that it came in, and I've already sent like Woohoo Tropicals a message on Palm Street and like Instagram DMs as well, and I just need to update them. I've just sort of been waiting. I know they're at IAS right now, so I don't want to like bombard them with work, but a lot of these plants are really doing well. A lot of these two plants are doing really, really well. When this one came in, it was so floppy, it was so wilty. It is a lot stiffer now, and it's actually growing some roots, so it's doing a lot better. And don't get me wrong, with this one I did expect it to be a little bit on the like not looking so great side, just because it was a fresh cut. It's coming from a greenhouse. Our temperatures here in Washington have also dropped significantly. We're already dropping below the 50s, or I think below the 60s. It's probably around 55 at night. And so it's getting definitely a lot cooler here. And so I just knew that these plants were just not going to have a great time, because they're just so used to these really hot, warm, humid conditions, and they're coming to an area where it's not so hot and humid. But yeah, this has been on my wish list for so freaking long. I'm so happy that I have it. I really hope it grows well for me. I know that Hoya enchilada, I've heard, can be kind of a struggle, and I really hope it's not the case for me with this one. Just because it has been on my wish list for such a long time. It has these beautiful, like, undulated leaves, the serrated edges, and also the velvetiness of the leaf and the splashes. I just think it's so freaking cute, and I just really hope this thrives for me, which I feel like I've been okay with my Hoyas, so I hope that it does. This plant that I did want to talk about was this anthurium that I got from them. I didn't mention what it was because this was a no tag from them. It's just a plant that I'm assuming it's a cross that they made that they just lost the tag on. It definitely looks like some sort of ace of spades or some sort of pap, but it does have a pebbliness. And I've noticed with paps don't usually have this sort of like dry velvet. I feel like with paps you normally get a really nice sort of velcro-y sort of velvet, I guess. And with this one, it's not necessarily like that. Like, it's very, it has a weird sheen to it, I guess. It's still velvet, but it has a weird sheen and a different texture than most of the paps that I've seen. Again, it could just be a different pap. I don't know. I don't know what this is. It has a beautiful pink sinus, and it has a nice pebbly texture to it. I do really like this plant, and that's why I got it. I don't really care for what the name of it is or what it is in general. I feel like knowing what the crosses are is just kind of cool to see the lineage or what sort of characteristics you can end up with, but I don't think it's necessary to enjoy the plant. And I feel, honestly, with a lot of my no IDs, I feel very happy with just what they are and how they look. And yeah, the one thing that I really like about my collection is the variety of plants that I have within it. I have like my Spirospermum, my Brazilian rain tree, like all of these really cool plants that bring a lot of character to my collection. They're really fun to grow because there isn't really a lot of information out there about them, and so I just kind of get to experience the plant as it is and figure things out like I did when I was a newbie to this hobby, I guess. But yeah, I do definitely want to slow down on my anthurium collecting as much as I enjoy them. And honestly, I would even go as far to say that they're my favorite genus, or one of my favorite genuses, or genera. But I think that that is everything. I kind of want to show you guys a little bit of updates with 2, maybe 3 of my plants, just because these plants I feel like I haven't really talked about in a while, and one of them I was struggling with, so maybe we'll do that and then we'll end off this video, just because I don't want to bore you guys with all of these random shenanigans. So let me go get that plant. Alright, the plant that I'm talking about is my Philodendron Splendid, which if you've watched any of my other videos on this plant, or literally just my week of, you would know I've been struggling with this plant for a very long time, with it not giving me leaves that would unfurl correctly. And I guess I wish I took a picture or a video of it, but a lot of the leaves just looked very malformed, and so like half of the leaf would be this dark velvety green, and then the other half would stay this sort of like color of the not hardened off leaf. And as of recently, it does seem like that issue has gone away. just because these two newest leaves are unfurling just fine, which I am so freaking grateful for. I was so tired of dealing with that issue, and I'm no longer dealing with it. I don't know what it was. Honestly, with any plant issue that isn't pests, you can't really like pin it down to one thing. It could have been light, it could have been nutrients. I personally was thinking that it could have been the cocoa that I put in the soil because it wasn't buffered. But I literally have no clue. I did move it to my windowsill. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it was in this corner, literally right here behind Lila's head. And I did almost get rid of this plant just because of how long I was dealing with that issue. I want to say like the whole growing season, I was just consistently dealing with that issue. And so I really, really hope that it's just easy going from here. It doesn't cause any more issues, and I don't know, I'm just so happy with this plant in general, and those issues were definitely causing me to kind of neglect it and just push it to the side, which honestly I think it needed a little bit of neglect. I honestly was thinking that it was like overwatering as well that was causing those sort of weird malnourished leaves. I don't want to say malnourished, but those prematured leaves, I guess. But just to give you guys an idea, maybe I'll take a screenshot of a previous video, maybe my goals, my like houseplant goal video, and show you guys how far this has come, just because this plant has come so freaking far. The smallest leaf I have on here is this one here, which is like the size of maybe my palm, and like now I have these like massive leaves that are bigger than my freaking face. It's in caterpillar, like it's actually sizing up, and I'm super happy about that. Like it genuinely makes me so happy because I feel like this plant for a long time, it was a wish list plant for a very long time. I got it, I struggled with it for so long. It wouldn't size up, it would just grow very small and scraggly, and now just to see the fruit of my labor, it makes me so happy. And yeah, I'm really, really proud of this plant. Don't get me wrong, I've dealt with a lot of issues with this plant, and it's taken a very long time to get to this point, so hopefully it continues to do okay and well. The last plant that I want to show you guys, which is another one I am just personally super happy about, it is this one here. This is my Ripsalis capilliformis, which, oh my god, I'm just so freaking happy with this plant. You guys have no idea. I've had this plant for I think 2 years now. I got it last summer. So yeah, no. Did I get it last summer? I'm pretty sure I did. I got this last summer, and so it's only taken a year. Yeah, I've had this for a year. Oh, a little bit over a year. I'm sorry, that just doesn't sound right to me, but I did struggle with this plant a lot when I first got it. It would constantly rot, and I would have to reroot it, and it's just grown so amazingly. I really do love this plant, and I just love how like it's grown, what it's turned into. It's just such a beautiful plant, and this is one that's taken me a while to figure out. And so I'm really happy that I have it to this point. It is literally the full size of my forearm. You guys can see. It is so long, and I'm just super happy. This is really turning into the Ripsalis of my dreams, and so I just can't get enough. I really love it. And yeah, that is sort of all I wanted to say. Yeah, that is all that I have to show you guys. I'm sorry it was so random, and I'm sorry that this video wasn't a complete success, but I hope you guys still enjoy this. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I truly hope you enjoyed.